Nice.
Ghosts! And they're tearing his soul apart.
There's someone here. He seems to be in great pain. Nice.
The spirit ignores you. The darks, there's nothing in the spirit but... The man before you rise. The man raises his head with an...
I will.
He coughs up a gout of blood. Before he can dissuade you...
Stop! I told you to leave. You're going to kill me. You can't...
He shudders as fresh...
Leave.
He passes out. His face goes slack as the pain... The man doesn't... The darks... And...
I can't fight. I'm too...
Say no. No.
Your mate. But you freed me instead. I will be. I think. Now that I'm out of Chem's damnable... To think I trusted a traitor. Just like you, I presume. You didn't come here by chance, did you? Out of the kindness of your heart. You want to enter the tomb of Lucian, don't you? You are God-woken. I was told God-woken would want to get into the tomb. Well, what people believe about my role as the keeper of Lucian's tomb is all part of the Divine's plan. I swore an oath to prevent anyone from ever entering the tomb of the Divine. But That may have been a mistake. The Divine's tomb is a fortress, a gauntlet. No single person was entrusted with the entire sequence necessary to enter. Not even I. Before he died, he arranged for the lone wolves to hunt and harry any rumored god-woken until they were dead or banished to the... Within Lucian's body resides the very power of the gods. The power to seed a new... But I know that even in his great wisdom, Lucian could not have foreseen times like these. To pass the path of blood, you must bypass the statue of Lucian. The Scroll of Atonement, when used with a source amulet, will provide... Have you by any chance met Sanders? Sanders, the toy maker, helped engineer the path of blood. He works as a toy seller now. Sanders is the expert, but be warned. Bypassing Lucian's statue is just the beginning. I'll be recovering in my chambers at the cathedral. I will answer as best as I can. The Divine worked in mysterious ways. He knew that his mortal remains would hold... Good...
Boring.
Ugh.
You must truly say... Oh, come now.
These God-woken are going to be the death of me.
You must truly savor my company, God.
These God-woken are going to be the death of me. No sense in hanging around. That's for you to discover. I'll find a way to help, but we have his name. Good luck.
You always bring me to such wonder.
I've got four fighters who need archers, all willing to fight by your side if the price is right.
You take the dirt-flecked lamp out of your bag. It feels strangely warm in your... The lamp feels strangely... Heavy smoke spills.
Who summons What?
His face twists.
What's wrong, Godwoken? Did the Seven turn you down too? I should strike you down where you stand, God. Because it would be a... My God gave it.
Deep inside,
Unworthy, she's... What kind of a monster gives you that power only to strip it from you? It was my birthright. The Void said I could have eternal... And it laughed as I was sealed away in that lamp. Be the light of the world, Godwoken. As treacherous...
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
hunters. I've got the way.
The puppet is still.
You've returned. Now, what can I do for you? I haven't had... Consider me at your service, if you need any... What of it? Held captive? By Kem? Are you certain? Then I was right to sequester myself here with my puppets, trusting people. But it seems that you are to enter the tomb of the divine, and I am to help you get there. In order to pass the first chamber, you'll here. Take this amulet. You must wear the amulet as you consume souls. Good luck.
Still, the paladins.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the dead. You've got some fighting, and I've got what you need.
Experiments? On all those people? But to what?
My, curious. This amulet is storing the source.
The ghost looks at what a fool.
Thieving big... Well, we made it in all...
It seems the amulet can't hold anymore.
Look at you. Beautiful. Inside and... Greetings! Fully charged, you say? You'll need the Scroll of Atonement. When you have both the charged amulet and the scroll, go to the Path of Blood. Good luck. I believe I've told you all. Nearly there. Mission granted.
The puppet's words choke.
You have hampered me long enough.
The desk is locked tight. Instead of a keyhole, there's a gilded inlay that bears an engraving. The parchments. The desk is locked tight. Instead of a keyhole, there's a gilded inlay that bears an engraving. It was you take a nearby quill and dip it into an inkwell. The ink is absorbed in...
All those broken arrows. pledge my heart, oh Lucian. Please return.
Oh, pilgrim.
May Lucian return.
The prayer seems to echo.
May Lucian...
May he return indeed.
God Woken. Put the amulet on and charge it up by consuming Source. Bring the amulet and the scroll to the path of blood. By the statue of Lucian there is a hidden mechanism. Many obstacles lie between the path of blood and the resting place of the... It is a room of many levers. Each lever is named for a virtue of the divine. Find the levers whose initials spell the word power. Select these 5, and these... My dear, the divine work he knew in my... But this, it may sound stupid. I have lowered my aspirations somewhat in recent centuries, I admit. I knew Lucian would defend Rivellon...
Hello? A smelly person threw my ball away and I couldn't go fetch. Threw it off the balcony. And I couldn't find the masters. Used to smell old. Now smelly man threw my ball.
A ball with teeth marks in it. Smells of dog.
Hello? Oh, fantastic! Yeah, but Master Ahu went away with the smelly. He smelled like the front of a flower shop and the back of a butcher's. Like he was using I didn't make no mess. Anyway, there's no...
My life, oh Lucian. Pledge my life, oh Lucian. Please return.
I am pure. Hey, me first! Take my blood. Tell me I am pure.
Please return.
I pledge my heart.
I pledge my heart, oh Lucian.
I pledge my soul. I pledge. Please return. I pledge my life. Oh Lucian, please return.
I pledge my life.
Oh Lucian, please return.
Oh, Lucian, please return. Sweet love.
I pledge my soul. I pledge my soul. Lucian, please return. My soul, oh Lucian, please return.
Something closed the door. Looking at this,
Lucian's statue creaks and groans.
Thou shalt answer 4 questions. Art thou ready? Dost thou steal?
There, a switch. A switch.
There, a switch.
There's a curious looking... There's a slot in the center of the button. It looks like something should be placed in it. The amulet fits the slot perfectly. The button slowly sinks into the wall. The source fades from the amulet. Gears turn behind the ancient walls. A nearby hatch in the floor unseals itself.
Thou art...
No sign of Lucian's body. Has Dallas beaten us here?
The blessed altar seems to want to be touched. The altar seems to respond. A blessed stone altar. The cool stone seems to... In the space beyond the... A blessed stone altar. The cool stone in the space beyond the altar. A blessed stone or the altar seems... A blessed stone altar. The cool stone seems to... In the pit beyond... A blessed stone altar. In the space beyond... The altar seems... A blessed stone in the space beyond the... The altar A blessed in the space beyond. The altar. A blessed stone. The altar. A blessed stone altar. The altar seemed...
Shanov, blood need not be spilled. Bones need not be broken to cross this threshold very well.
Transposition engine.
Right where I want.
Orifice manipulator.
There's no end to them.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator.
Another one. How many more could there be? Something shift behind it.
Moving to noxious atmosphere in it. Moving to corporeal transformation.
Filling a breather invites magical translocation.
Moving to hazardous concoction generator. Hazardous concoction vessels generated.
There's no end to them. There's no end to them.
Moving to corporeal transposition engine. What the hell's just happened? Ah, pulling a lever invites magical translocation.
Feels like that lever itself.
They just keep coming. Look around. There's got to be a way to make them stop.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return.
What's that, Quercus? You have something? My goodness. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared.
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And
Sir Laura
I owe you an apology, Shield. But I see now. Now, here I am. Indeed, Quercus and...
Sir Laura take...
You feel it, don't you? The great acorn is... We've known this moment. I am Quercus, and you, Shield...
Sir Laura nods...
No matter what happens, it has been... Now!
Come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source blood. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. Oh, don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. Consider it a taste of your divine future. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen.
Melody wearily chuckles to her...
Looks like my
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention.
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
God woken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and twice as bright. To have your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Riedeman's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Riedemann, then turns to the silent monk standing near and smiles widely. Reality sets in. The monk is Gareth. No longer seeker, but slave.
Oh, Gareth. He was always so devoted, and so stubborn.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you.
Lucian, we should tell the Godwoken the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Sword.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the source they stole from the veil, the 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
During their lives, worshippers collect souls. When they die, the gods feed from them.
Our souls are nothing but vats for the source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. When we are done, there shall be no more source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslave them.
My people cannot be allowed to return from the void. They are tarnished.
There is more, but
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals is Fane. Yes, Fane is my father.
What? No. It can't be. Everything Dallas did.
Everything I did to fix your mistake. Our people. Every purged sorcerer. Every dead magister. All those weeping families. They're on your head. But now I have revenge. Revenge on the 7 and the God King.
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes.
Did you even look for me?
Dallas, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Rivellon.
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Rivellon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took... And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of...
While Dallas sought the Aetheran.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Maggot! I am no slave.
With a flick of her wrist, Dallas sends a jolt through Brachus's body.
Don't worry, he's well under control. He has made a fine servant. Isn't that right? Ingrate.
Dallas punctuates her statement with another wrist flip.
Yes, in a sense. When the death fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, to strengthen himself, he sent his Voidwoken. The remnants of
The Voidwoken. Disgusting. You see...
The Aetheran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole.
The void shall be banished, and a false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source.
There is no other way. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours. Good.
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power. Yet all who desire power shall fear me. I shall carry the secret of my lack of divinity. Peace shall reign.
We already had more than enough Godwoken.
Another sacrifice. I was...
Then let us... Show some responsibility, Father! Surrender your source!
Sealing the veil will lock our people away forever. They will never be free of the void. Though if they return...
Fane turns to you. In all the time that you've traveled together, you've...
And you, my fellow adventurers. Together we have seen more than generations of mortals could ever see. You have seen the horrors of the void, and you showed me how beautiful it really was.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know of the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of Riverland.
Don't let them do this to us! But... our souls?
No, never.
I understand. Sacrifice takes courage. Your sacrifice shall be made for you.
I'm sorry.
feeling poorly, Dallas? Good. You shall not seal the veil. And now it is time. I call on the God King.
How? What? You are unleashed!
Wiedemann cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into and around your pockmarked bones.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So accustomed had you become to me pretending to be your slave.
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me.
This is not the time for talk. Kill him, now!
Too late, you mouldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, You dare interrupt Brachus Rex? How novel. Who are you? Ah! You are the fetid dirt on... The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my power. Come to your father. Come to the Source King.
struggles to rise.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
Well then, this is, as they say. I never dreamed that after all this, I would be standing here with one of your kind. Let alone that I would be proud to do so. I cannot imagine someone I would trust more with divinity.
Fane lays a bony hand on your shoulder, squeezing gently.
Do you know, I believe you will.
Here we stand, once more on the cusp of divinity. But this cup, so long thirsted for, I willfully let it pass from me. All my life has been a lead-up to this, to be the King of Kings. God, I will not say it was in vain, but I will say it was vanity. If I were to chance upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it, cast my glance to the horizon, and think of worthier things. I'd think of Sadher, my great love. I'd think of my children, their joyous dance through fiery skies. And of course I'd think of you, of the adventures we had, of our unlikely yet heartfelt friendship. Yes, I'd sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait.
He smiles and stretches his arm.
After you.
Yes. Is it? I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do. Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. And I know you'll do it with style. Hell, I could have told you that. Now go on, shoo.
You think back on your journey here. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil on both sides. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen world. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wrong, the wars you'd win. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. What shall it be? Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aeteran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with divinity?
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. Dallis the Hammer, the secret Eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the Source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their Source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten. The half-demon Malady took pity on the soulless, God-woken silent monks and brought them to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the God-woken. Freed from the weight of the world. As for me, the God-woken sacrifice severed the link that bound the sworn to the God King, and I was finally free. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the God-woken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever seen.
Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. A silent monk. At least that's what you'd be if it weren't for malady. Like I would about the return of the codpiece, that it's highly unfashionable. The man's a man, all too prone to the weaknesses of the heart. We've seen the results of his errors firsthand. I give it a week before he errs anew. Yes, well, that's to say, that's love, not... All right, you made a point. Besides, Lucian. Perhaps even a god deserves a second chance. Even if he is a god without powers. As for myself, I'm counting on a second chance as well. Why, I mean my empire, of course. I intend to go home as soon as I can. After all, I've dragons to raise. I need to teach them to be good boys and girls before they set the entire world on fire. There may be an accident or two along the way. I do so long to see my palace again, to sit all day in perfumed shade, but above all, I long to be with Sadher. Oh, but before you go, remember how when we first met, I took you by the jaw to inspect your teeth? Not something one forgets in a hurry. Now, if you recall, as per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor and groom. At the time, of course, I couldn't have foreseen the adventure ahead, but now that it's quite over, I'd like to renew the opportunity for you to become my slave. What say you?
Taken quite by surprise.
I take that as a no. Use your words.
Without source to shield it, the barriers between Nemesis and Rivellon weaken.
Malady stands tall and proud.
There you are. More than a silent monstrosity, less than a god. Where did I go wrong? How is unfortunately from steel. I'd expected quite a bit. Never mind.
She fingers the mask covering her face.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all.
She looks you up.
I guess this will have to do. Take a moment, why don't relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know. Around perhaps our paths will cross again. Until we find out.
Spirit doesn't acknowledge you.
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. The cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth.
He pauses. Then...
I always thought that though a world without source is one I believe I shall enjoy. That is the... No, of course, I intend to...
A slight grin crosses the spirit's face.
You are a very, very, very lucky person. If Malady hadn't restored us, it's probably survived much more than we'll ever even know. I don't know if anyone's free of anything. But I'm bloody get loot, play loot. So Chief, I guess this... You say that now. Whatever it is, you'll ace it.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her. Suddenly it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
Fane is reading a...
I see.
He glances up at you. Big with a grin, the skeleton...
Well, well. A little leaner than when we first met, and a little less divine than you'd hoped, I imagine. Good heavens, do they?
Fane looks back down to the book.
It could have been different, you know? I could have saved them. I could have found a way. They never had a chance to decide their oath. They were at the mercy of the Seven. Then the God King. I wish things had been different. I wish I was able to tell a different story. Alas. I doubt she will ever forgive me for what I... So, what do you... I never thought I would wish for silence again. I hear there are some nice beaches in Rivellon, though.
The skeleton hefts Hubert's dog-eared encyclopedia.
I've been rereading this book, looking... It's shit.
Fane tosses the book over his shoulder.
If you have spent your life staring at a thing, you can write... You creatures have spent your lives trudging about this world, simply that to see the true beauty of a thing. Take otters, for example, or octopuses. Octopuses? Regardless, the world is filled with absolutely incredible sight. Do you know? I suppose we are all Source, but my people were Source too. In a way, I was walking alongside the best version of them the entire... In you, I found a home better than the one I was pining.
Well, Quirkers, look what? No, you're welcome. By the... Honestly, Quirkers, some creatures have...
A huge grin.
Of course.
The cat moves forward.
Quirkers! This battle is won, my friend. They summoned the great acorn once. That is the future Quirkers and I have ahead of us. And I never thought I would... Ow! I do not know. Come, Quirkers.
The cat curls up.
There's nothing interesting down there. The future lies above.
Are you okay? You don't look okay.
No more Source, no more powers. Reform my ways.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then her mouth meets yours, and...
Something to remember me by, darling. But a girl needs some.
There now.
If you'll excuse...
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to... I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond, and with a start, you realize where you must go next. At last, the world was at peace. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. Justinia returns to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven Kingdom prospered, until 2 years later, a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport. Your lizard lover finally returned to the ancient lizard empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. Almira and Mihaly settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the Wizard became one of Lucian's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or if he did, he never said a word. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucian in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the end of days. Some say only Tova, her mother, holds her back. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. His run-in with his daughter set Fane on a new path. He travelled Rivellon, recording the wonders he discovered, but always kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals. He hoped to find the wife he'd lost, but he never did. Then again, he's still looking. The Red Prince came home a hero. With Sada, he had more dragons. Soon, Prince became Emperor, one who would not use his dragons for conquest. His realm knew peace, and the world did not burn. Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more elf among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.